Hello, my name's James Dyer. I'm going to try and do my first Christian podcast. I think other people do evangelical, being an image bearer of Christ and a follower of Jesus much better than I can. So I'm just going to talk historically about the scant facts there are about the third Pope, Pope Clement I. In the Liber Pontificalis, if I've got the pronunciation right, he was described as the third pope in line after St. Peter and St. Peter and Pope Linus. He was pope from 88 AD to 98 AD. He died in 88 AD to 99 AD. He died in 101 AD. Some of the background: Paul the Apostle wrote the Epistle to the Romans in 58 AD. He came to Rome in 60 AD. There was a large Christian congregation in Rome in 58 AD. After the burning of Rome in 64 AD, Nero persecuted Christians. And possibly, if I've got the pronunciation right, Domitian after Nero. The first century church, in many people's views, was an interesting and exciting time before the church gained power, wealth and influence and things became less simple. Pope Clement almost certainly met the Apostle Paul. Some people think he was consecrated by St. Peter. After he was Pope, he was sent to heavy labour in Greece as a punishment. Perhaps they were still persecuting. There he had to work in a stone quarry under Emperor Trajan of Greece. The prisoners were suffering from lack of water, and the tradition goes that he saw a lamb on a hill, and he dug his pick, which presumably he used for the stone quarry, into the place, and gushing clear fresh water came forth. Many of the prisoners converted to Christianity. As a punishment, he was tied by the neck to an anchor and thrown in the Black Sea. He's considered the patron saint of mariners for obvious reasons. There are 3 writings attributed to him, but 2 have been discredited. The second epistle is discredited, and the epistle on virginity. His epistle to the church at Corinth is the first known existent writing after the New Testament. In it he advocates for the presbyterites or bishops as the apostolic true rulers of the church at the time they're being disposed. Saint Cyril, and I think I may have got the date wrong, 806 AD, found bones tied to an anchor in Crimea on dry land. He brought the relics back to Rome, and if they are authentic, his remains are buried in the Basilica of St. Clement in Rome. The skull is claimed by a church in Kiev in Ukraine. I think it's important to discuss historical figures, because I think maybe people living in 100 BC, in 1000 BC or 100 AD or 500 AD, even though society has changed immeasurably and totally, I think maybe the human condition and their circumstances were very similar to our own. So thanks, this is my first Christian podcast.